Hi everyone, Dave Kincaid here with Alberta Business Grants. The tariff crisis is rolling on, and we're currently in this hold pattern, but business owners are very concerned about what's going on. So I thought I would create a video for you, and we would cover 7 ways in which grants can help protect you during this time and potentially even grow your business. Wouldn't that be nice during this tariff crisis? So with that, let's jump in and go through these 7 ways grants that can help you. Let's get started with number 1 being the most obvious, which is finding new markets for your products. So each province, not all provinces, but most provinces have an export grant. So Google your province, Google like Alberta Export Grant, you'll come up with Alberta Export Expansion Program. But there's a federal one too called Can Export, which will be opening soon. So make sure that you're starting to think through your plan, like where are we gonna go? And then start building your application, getting ready for that. And so make sure you're aware about the programs that are available. Here's an example of how difficult it is for a lot of business owners who are so busy just trying to grow their business. CFIB has this really good report that talked about awareness of different trade support services. Look at this, Can Export, which is this federal grant right here. 76% of respondents weren't aware of it. 20% were aware and did not use it, and only 5% were aware and used. So part of that is hopefully this is making this aware, but it is a challenge, especially if you're first time new at this. These grants can be first come, first serve sometimes as well. So you really need to be forward looking. If you sign up for my newsletter at Alberta Business Grants, it's the Grant-Gazette. We publish all the federal grants as well as there's provincial grants in British Columbia and Alberta. But if you're outside of that, there's all the grants are published every Monday morning. So I encourage you to sign up for that so that when these grants open, you'll know about it, okay? That's a totally free service. So sign up for that and you'll be aware. So be mindful of export grants. This is going to reduce costs for search engine optimization, going to trade shows, flights, hotels. I mean, they are truly probably one of the best grants out there for businesses. So understand your export grants in your province and the federal one and get ready. Start thinking through that plan about where you're going to actually go if you're not going to the U.S. So that is number 1, export grants. Okay, number 2. Often some businesses, especially export businesses, hire summer students. Now, some of you may have missed, I missed, the Canada Summer Jobs Grant because it was back in December. Well, actually, there's a lot of other grants for summer students. And here's one I'm putting up for you right now that it's accepting. These can go up to $7,000, okay? So this can really lower your labor costs, getting some summer help to keep your business going, especially during this really difficult time, probably 2025, to stay in business, be innovative, lower that payroll costs. Now, if you're hiring people like recent graduates, there's also what they call intern grants, and these are no joke. Like, look at this. This is Career Launcher. You can get $30,000 back on hiring a student or a recent grad. So this idea of tapping into our youth, lower your costs, that learning curve they may have to do, that's always painful because you got to shell it out and hope to get it back later. This can help you a lot. There's a lot of different grants as well. If you're not sure where they are, again, head over to Alberta Business Grants, sign up for my newsletter, the Grant-Gazette. Each week you'll see we have employee grants. You can watch them there as they come in Monday morning, and you can go after it. So that is the second thing, and that is getting grants to offset that upcoming labor, whether it's recent grads, people graduating in April, or summer students. Okay, let's talk about number 3, and that is training. We're going to have to be smart. We're going to have the smart workforce. AI is, going to be a part of our businesses, so we need to learn that. There's going to be training that you need to get yourself and probably your employees. So each province has a job grant, a training job grant. In Alberta, it's called the Canada Alberta Job Grant. If you Google job grant in your province, you'll see it come up. So make sure that you keep investing in your employees so that their skills are sharp and we can compete globally. And you can get these grants that'll offset 50, sometimes 2/3. And if they were recently unemployed, they'll even fund 100% of the training costs, up to 15 grand if you meet the right criteria. So training grants are gold. Again, whether it's AI or potentially the grant writing course that someone wants to go through to win grants that I teach. Those are shameless plug, but whatever it is, there's a lot of marketing. There's all kinds of training that we need. Okay, so that is number 3. Let's go on to number 4. Look, if you're into exporting, you're most likely, most of the export companies that I've written for over the years, and there's been a lot of them, they have intellectual property. And last I heard, legal bills aren't cheap. But good news is, whether it's a federal grant like IRAP or provincial arms. Now in Alberta, we have something called Alberta Innovates, sort of the tech arm. Each province will have some version of a provincial tech innovation agency. Just Google that and you'll see it come up in your provinces. They can help with intellectual property costs. Like here's the voucher program. I'll give you an example. Look at this right here. Patent development, right? There's some other things you do, R&D. So staying innovative and using grants to offset those costs. Like, look, this is pretty good cash, 100 grand, right? Can be a game changer for you. So for you innovative companies out there, whether it's getting patents, new products, tap into the grants that are there for that. Let's talk about number 5. Now, during the pandemic, there was the Canadian Digital Adoption Program. This was like sprucing up your website. It closed. The new budget, and there's a lot going on federally, as we know right now. There's the Liberals picking a new leader. There's probably going to be election. There's for sure going to be a new prime minister. We don't know who it will be yet. But there's going to be a lot of moving parts. But there will most likely be some type of business support, whether it's the revival of this in another version or something, around helping businesses, get sharper online so they can get more customers, whether it's across Canada or abroad. The best thing to do there, I think, is subscribe to your newsletter publications. I'll be watching this, so if you're subscribed to the Grant-Gazette, I'll definitely be reporting it to you as soon as they come out with that. But the idea of just monitoring closely these government programs, because we know they're coming. So stay tuned about getting your potentially, if they revive something like this, I'm sure they're going to have some sort of version of this to get ready. Okay, number 6. And this is these they're called like, regional economic development agencies. Wherever you are in the country, out in Alberta, we call it the Canada Regional, Prairies Can. But they will have programs, this one, for tourism, for example, different sectors, both for nonprofit and profit businesses. So sign up for their notifications, watch what they're doing, because that's sort of how the federal government will allocate a lot of capital to businesses. It will be through these agencies. So, I think it's ACOA on the East Coast. You know the Economic Development Agency. If you don't, Google what is the name of my Economic Development Agency. Sign up for their emails, attend their webinars, because again, that's how the money from the feds is going to be allocated to businesses. Our last one, the self-employment program. And this is, maybe it's time for you to start a business. Some of you, unfortunately, or I'm guessing there's going to be layoffs. And you've been dreaming about doing a business. Well, look, I actually did this micro business. It was incredible. And if you're laid off, it's amazing because you can take it. It doesn't cost you anything. And I think you can even make money. You have to find out the latest terms and conditions. They evolve, but you can make money while you're on it and not get clawed back. So if it's time for you to start a business, you've been dying to start a business for a long time, and whether you choose or you're being forced to, this could be a great launching pad into starting a business. This is in Alberta. Each province will have a version of this too. Just Google self-employment program in your province and watch what comes up. And if by chance they don't have it, be talking to your MLAs and MPs, your chambers of commerce about getting it, because it always has been, always will be my favorite grant. Starting a business, and you know what? A lot of great businesses have come out of crisis, and this might be your time. So that's it. That's 7 ways grants can help you during this tariff crisis. If you're want to stay tuned and stay along, as again, I just say, sign up for my newsletter for the latest developments. I'll keep you up to speed on all of the funding programs over at the Grant-Gazette. Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.